Buonasera, amici. Welcome to the
Live!
Today we have Gilbert Gallo all the way from Italy.
Yes. Hello. How are you guys?
And everybody's favorite founder of the Rocky Mountain Savages from Colorado, Chris Fuchs.
Hello! How's everybody doing?
And the talented, multitasking Chelsea Kramer.
Good morning.
Morning, afternoon.
Right, it's Sunday fun day, so we don't really care what
Time is an illusion.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's true. We just had the whole daylight savings debacle, which they keep thrusting upon us, which is no fun at all.
Which
Like,
is still
why?
a problem.
I hear tales that that may be going away. Keep your fingers crossed.
I hope
everyone.
it goes away.
Keep your fingers crossed.
The fun thing about Pinnacle is that like half the team is in Arizona, and Arizona just said like daylight savings. What's that? Several years
Forget
ago.
it.
So they kind of switch back and forth with being the same as Mountain Time and then the same as Pacific Time, and but that's kind of fun.
We made graphics of, is Shane on a mountain or is Shane on a beach? Which time is he, so that we could tell. That was our Monday morning meeting last week. Was like, are you Pacific time, Shane, or Mountain time? Because now they're Pacific.
Yes, and we spend the next 2 weeks getting it wrong, anyways. So.
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. As much as possible, we try to find ways to make this make sense, but So let's do a quick update on the ETU. So ETU Study Abroad is live for a few more days. It is on GameOnTabletop.com. We'll throw the link in the chat.
Get out there and back it.
Right?
Yeah.
Go back it. It is over 772% funded. There's 4 days left. There's over 300 people who are on board. And the current total raised is over $15,000, which is pretty good for a booster Kickstarter campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So are all 300 of those who are going abroad all vaccinated yet?
Right? You guys get your vaccines. Oh my God. So yeah, we were just talking before stream on like the trials and tribulations of getting vaccinated, because all of you guys are invited to Deadwood 2021.
Yes.
It's going to be this August, and the Savage Cruise 2022, which is going to be right after New Year's. And so yeah, go get vaccinated, because I mean, not to like be a vaccine scold, but you can get your freedom back. Freedom.
And come see and come hang out with all the savages. Mm-hmm. I think that's more worth it than anything else. It's just hanging out with savages.
Being able to game in person for the new year, I'm gonna be bawling the entire time.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be Floodworks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
it's
so
gonna be
happy.
cool.
Looking forward to it.
Right, so let's see. Let me see if I can share the screen and figure out which one is the ETU Study Abroad one. There we go. So yes, ETU Study Abroad. You should back it. So one of the cool things that got added to all the pledge levels is we had these guys on the other day. Sound Booth Theater has done an audio drama of an ETU story, and everybody gets the audio drama for free in all the backer levels. So if you want to try that out, right? Like there's already like the sound. What do you call it when there's like tracks that are music and that goes with this movie?
Just
soundtrack. Track of sound. So there's the track of sound, Trouble in Texas, which is already included in the bigger levels. But everybody gets the cool new Sound Booth Theater story. We had the author on, Aaron Rosenberg. He's a cool dude.
He's
and
such a sweet guy.
Right, we resolved that we're going to do a Norwegian metal band of all bards game called, instead of ABBA, it's going to be called Stabba. And so it's going to be an all bard game, and we're going to play that. So that'll be fun.
I listened to their first one that they did for Shane's like Christmassy story. Mm-hmm. It was really well done. They did a great job. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for ETU. I'm kind of excited that's being offered now.
Like if you're a fan of like Justified or Fargo or any of the alt Christmas fun stuff, like the Nakatomi Towers and having German terrorists thrown off the top of them, you can still pick up Kringle Down, which is that story Shane wrote and that the Sound Booth Theater people made an audio drama of, and it's actually really good.
It's really good.
Shane can kind of write or something. No one had any clue. We were just playing this game for like the last 20 years, and but apparently the dude can write. So hey. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yes, so everybody gets that. So running back, the cool thing about Game on Tabletop is it's an instant back. So when you pledge, you get charged and you get your stuff. It's cool. And then when we throw in more fun stuff, you get more fun stuff. But yeah, other than that, like you guys, so the reason we're bringing you two on is you both, through various means and machinations, have been able to travel to foreign countries and run RPG games. And since that's kind of the theme of ETU Study Abroad, is you get to go to either Poland or Italy or Costa Rica or Great Britain and take your troop of students there and subject them to horrors and entertainments in those countries. You guys both got to do that. So, Fox, tell me, like, where you got to go to Italy, actually. Tell me about that trip.
Yeah, so back in the before times of September 2019, I spent 3 weeks in Italy. I think it was 3 weeks. Spent a week and a half in Bari, hanging out with Gilbert and his family, which was incredible. Spent a few days in Florence and then finished up everything in Rome. Spent a few days in Rome. Gilbert hooked me up with 2 awesome folks to help me get around both of those cities. And it was amazing because having 3, Italian folks over there to show me around, I feel like I got to see things that we'll just say normal tourists might not have gotten to see, and going to different restaurants and things like that. With Gilbert, we went, and Gilbert, I was thinking about this before I came on, all the names I'm going to forget. But we went to the castle that was basically the I'm trying to think what I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now. But the castle that was not, it was like the hexagonal castle.
Ah, yes, it's octagonal castle.
Octagonal,
yes,
that's what it was.
Castel
and that was,
del Monte, yes.
and you just you drive up to that, and that was another great fun thing with Gilbert and I, is we were, we'd be driving up and just between the two of us, all these game ideas would pop up. And, we're like, and Gilbert says, could you imagine just being in that castle and looking over and seeing the enemy coming at you? And, and you start thinking about all these things, not as well as all the history, but all the game ideas. And it was amazing. He talked me into running Deadlands, which was great. I was so happy I did it. I was a little apprehensive at first, thinking to myself, oh man, am I gonna, how's this gonna work? And we just did it at the game store in Bari. Had a few 4 players, and one of the gentlemen, I think, came from like 30-40 miles away, if not further, didn't he?
yes.
And
just to play with you.
The crazy thing was, we didn't start until probably 9 or 9:30 at night, or maybe even 10 o'clock. And I just, that to me, and it's just like they were raring and ready to go at 10 o'clock. And I'm thinking to myself, man, it's 10 o'clock. I'm getting tired, but it turned out to be so much fun. And they were able to practice some English. Most of them spoke pretty good English anyway. So it turned out to be such a great time. And the thing too is I noticed that running the games, and when I played with Laura and her group in Rome, we didn't even start that game until probably 10:30 at night. But
oh my gosh.
it was only a couple hours. We only played like about 2.5, 3 hours, and they were ready to wrap it up by then. So I kind of noticed too, it seems like their game sessions maybe are a little bit shorter, but it could be because they don't start till 10 o'clock at night.
We are night creatures.
So yeah, it was so fun because when I was in Rome, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and we're all heading to the restaurant to go out to eat and have dinner, and I'm thinking to myself, when's the role playing we're gonna do start? And dinner was, it had to have been after 10:30, because I think dinner was at least 2.5 hours.
Yes, of course.
And then we had to drive all the way back into Rome, because we went on the outskirts of Rome to their, they have basically an apartment in her parents' apartment building that is like where they all meet to game. It's actually was really kind of cool. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. In Rome, Laura ran, so I got to play, and that one was not Savage Worlds. That was a game that Laura and her group were actually working on. So,
Lando, are you muted?
Of
course he is.
No one wants to hear from me, really. Yeah. So, the European lifestyle, like, love the late night food. The Italians, you don't rush them through a meal. Like,
never rush an Italian when he eats.
Right? Like, my favorite memory of Italy was there was like a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Rome, and we walk in. We weren't going to eat there, but we're just like, oh my god, they have KFC. What is this? Like, why? And we walk in, and there's a fountain in the middle of the foyer of the KFC, and there was a maitre d' who went and sat us at a table, wanted to go sit us at a table, and there were like tablecloths and nice chairs. I was like, this is the swankiest KFC in the history of KFCs. But like, it's Italy. You don't just go. You don't want to talk with your hands. But I love your kids, Gilbert. We could definitely heal your kids. Right. You don't just go sit down and 3 minutes later slurp down your Slurpee large drink.
Oh no.
No. There's appetizers at KFC, and there's a dessert course. I mean, oh my god. So
yeah, well,
and they served wine. They had a wine list at KFC, guys. A wine list.
I mean, every place should have a wine list. Let's be honest.
So when I got to Rome, the second it was probably the second night there. I met up with Laura. We met up during the day at the Vatican, but I met up with her, and she's like, we're gonna go have dinner at this Armenian restaurant with my parents. And I'm like, cool, okay. So we get there, and as soon as I sit down, they start bringing out plate after plate after plate of food, and we're talking 10 different plates of food and all this food, and I'm trying all this stuff, and then the waiter comes over and says, what would you like for your main course? And I'm like, I just had it. And they're like, no, those were the appetizers.
Prima piatti.
Antipasti.
Yeah, so after the 10 different things of appetizers, then we had a meal, and then they came back to the table and said, would you like dessert? And I'm like, I don't think I could. And 2 minutes later, there was 2 different desserts on the table. I was like, well, I guess I'm having dessert.
Yeah, you will never go hungry.
No, it was amazing. I can say that it went by way too fast, and I cannot wait to go back.
Come and visit us. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, I cannot.
Knock on our door.
Yes, we're here.
I was telling somebody yesterday, if I could find a way to make it work, I would move to Italy.
It's so easy. Just come here. I'll find you a house, and you stay here. That's it. You don't need anything more.
I like it. I'm okay with that.
So I was a bastard and went and snagged some Facebook photos of both you visiting Italy, Fox, and Gilbert visiting America. So we've had Gilbert luckily twice now, right? To our
Colorado convention.
Yes.
So I think this was from the last time, and we got a whole lot of cool people in this photo.
Yes.
That's a who's who right there.
Well, I'm not in it, so it's not complete, but it's close.
Right? No, I know that makes it the who's who.
That's right. That's sad. So Fox is repping the exact same hoodie that he's wearing. That's our Rocky Mountain Savage hoodie, which you don't have it, right? It's a good hoodie.
That I only have the logo on the back. I get crap about that constantly.
So we were Shane has one, I've got one, Chris has got one, and we were making these things, and it was we had the choice, where do you want to put the logos, right? The logo on the front, logo on the back, both. And I'm like, both. This is an advertising vehicle. And Fox is like, but it might be a little tacky, and I'm going to get Savage Mommy embroidered in the front. And we still haven't taken these things back to get them embroidered. I think we paid for it 3 years ago, but they're like.
Yeah.
there was like so last minute on them getting them to us. We're like, we don't have time. I'm just going to pick them up today. So we still haven't gotten them embroidered. But the
someday.
Oh my God!
Right,
go
someday.
get it done, Jesus.
But it's like the places in the Springs and Foxes in Denver, and you know,
Again, Chelsea. It's all about the before times.
right back when we could actually like meet people. And,
Well, I mean, considering that like you and Dustin have met halfway to like deliver stuff for Halloween, you could have just gotten it done then.
That's probably true.
but that was done. Oh well, yes, we do have like late night, like I got the money, you got the stuff meetings for like who
real
bought the,
sketchy.
it's like microphones and like all the recording equipment and all that stuff. But yeah, this is what the breakfast at the hotel.
No,
or
I think
IHOP.
I think we went to IHOP.
IHOP.
Yeah,
Scott has pancakes in the back there, so it must be IHOP.
Yeah, so we've got myself, Carl Kiesler, Shane, Scott Woodard, Daryl Hayhurst, Simon Lucas, Booth, Sizemore, Tracy Sizemore, and then Gilbert.
That is fantastic.
So that was a who's who.
Yeah. So probably the reason I'm not in this photo is I don't get up early at conventions. I sleep in. So like things like breakfast are just not on my menu. And so Gilbert, this last time, Gilbert tried to speaking of inoculations, he tried to indoctrinate everybody with what, Scopa?
Scopa.
What is that?
I now have Scopa on my phone. I have lots of decks of cards.
What?
It's great.
What is Scopa?
Yeah, Gilbert, tell us what
Please
Scopa is.
explain.
Yeah, I have them. Okay, Scopa is a very cool game that you play with these very nice set of cards. They call them the vegetables cards because there are some. This is money, this is cups, and so on. And it's very cool because you have only 3 cards in your hand. And you have to get as much cards to sum up to the value. Okay, this is 3. So if you get a 2 and a 1, you can get them, and they are yours. The one who has the most cards wins. And the one who makes combinations, combos, yes, like all the golden cards or some other combos, score more points, and so on and so on. But the most important thing is that when you get old and you retire, you gamble all your money in this game. So this your life is on the line. Yes.
Because there was a couple of times when I was walking around Bari, just out by myself walking around, and I walked through a park, and there were a group of 4 older gentlemen all sitting around playing, and there was one guy, kind of a younger guy, standing behind them. And of course, I have no idea what they're saying, but you could tell that the younger guy was needling a couple of the older gentlemen, and they were getting mad.
Yeah, but that's the problem with old Italian men is like they'll cut you. So
and they were actually playing Scopa. That's what so I kind of stood and watched them play for a few minutes.
Oh
We're very serious about our games. Yes. Oh, and this is another cool moment when I was there in Genghis Khan, when we played Escape from New York in the Olympus Dig way. So it was a very nice experience that brought us Snake Plissken and many other famous guys who tried to escape a different kind of New York. And I was very happy to run it, and people had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love what bits of American culture go big overseas. And so the fact that you guys know about Escape from New York just tickles me pink. The Olympus Dig, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's a wonderful setting. Gilbert has contributed mightily to it. And Charles White, our mutual friend of all of us, Charles actually helped get Fox and I published too with Buccaneer through Hell and High Water. But he put it out. It's basically like corporate America meets the Greek gods. So it's called Olympus Inc. And it's very fantastic.
Pretty cool stuff.
I think we got Charles in here. There we go. There's Charles.
Yeah, here it is.
So yeah, there's Charles White, and this is what the front of the hoodie should look like. That's what the back of Fox's hoodie looks like. And
see, man,
right there it is! Yay!
Eccola!
We just have. That's good. It's just an excuse for Fox to have to do a little turnaround on the catwalk.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think I just pulled my hip or something.
I know we're getting so old. I just turned 40 yesterday, and my dad is like, "Congratulations, son! No longer are you young and stupid. Now you're just stupid."
Oh! You're not even halfway through your life, Landauer. Calm down.
I was going to say that 40. Psh.
I know, right? But
40 is so far in the rearview mirror for me.
Should you still be driving, old man? Like,
I know.
Years. Okay, so Fox had this. Oh my God! So this COVID thing, Fox had to get his plates renewed, and like all of Colorado shut down on all of those things. So they were both yelling at you to get them renewed, but also didn't have any capacity to renew. Did you ever get your license plate tag redone?
Yep.
It only took what, like 4 months, 5 months? Like,
it was longer. It was longer than that.
Oh,
it was like 7 months. Well, it took them over that long just to get my name right on my registration. That's what was holding it. That's what was holding it up. Was they couldn't.
Landauer.
Yeah.
God damn it! Why am I getting all these unpaid tickets?
And just that's another story for another day. But it was always fun talking to the DMV people. And I would call up and say, "Yeah, my name's not David. My name's Christopher," because it said David on the registration. And I talked to one lady, and she must have said 10 plus times, "So you're not David?"
No,
I'm not David. I've told you like 10 times. My name is Chris. I'm not David.
Oh, so it's crit failing on understanding.
Right. Oh yeah.
Totally crit failing the whole time.
I don't think she had noticed as a skill. And so
D4-2.
Yeah, and she was missing left and right. And then at one point she goes, "So it's not correct?" I was like, "Oh, Lord lady."
Oh, honey.
Yeah. So at least in Italy, when you're of the age where you should no longer be a public servant, you can go to the park and play Scopa. In America, they let you run the DMV.
That's right.
Oh no! Wait, what happened? Let's see. I saw the window.
You just have to There you go.
There you go. Okay, so cool. This is there's Chris Fuchs in Italy.
In Italy with Gilbert and his parents.
Yes, my parents.
Those the elder Gallos.
And again, see the pictures, and it just brings back all the stories. It was great because when I got there, Gilbert picked me up at the train station, and he had got me a hotel room, but he couldn't get it until the next night. Because obviously I didn't know when I was coming in. My dates on that trip, I totally screwed those up, but it kind of turned out kind of cool because I got to stay with his parents, and my first night I was in Gilbert's bedroom that he had as a kid.
Yeah, my room is your room. My parents are your parents.
So what fun and embarrassing things did you find in Gilbert's
room? It was funny. Immediately we walked to the door. He introduced me. I was talking to them, and the food immediately started.
Of course,
like within 5 minutes. And one of the coolest things was the next morning. I got into the tiny shower. That's something with Italy is showers are not made for anyone over 6 foot tall. And anyone over about 150 pounds. So it was kind of fun trying to take showers there. But, I get into the kitchen. His mom is gone. She's at the beach, tanning at the beach is what his dad said. And his dad has this spread of food. And then he asked me if I want coffee. And I said, sure. He says, so, okay, I'll be right back. So he leaves. Now, I don't know what's going on. Gilbert wasn't there yet, or he might have just come in, but then his dad comes back and there's no coffee. Well, like 10 minutes later, the doorbell rings and there is a waitress coming in with a tray with coffee and like pastries on it. They live in a neighborhood that has like a little restaurant nearby, and so they just all go and order, and the wait staff brings it to their apartment.
Where is this in Italy? Where?
It was in Bari.
I'm moving. I'm moving now.
I mean,
I'll be there in a week. Just let me pack up. That's
it was
incredible.
Amazing. It was amazing. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden she comes in, and I'm like, and she's got a tray of espresso and pastries and things. And I was just like, okay, that is so awesome.
Yeah,
So it was just like
yeah.
every day was something cool like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yes. No, the shower thing is true. I was lucky enough to be a Latin nerd in high school, and so the Latin club went to Italy when I was like a junior in high school, I think. And so we got to see Sorrento, which was amazing, gorgeous. Like there's a little island, the island of Capri off of Sorrento, and our hotel room had like a clawfoot bathtub and this amazing bathroom, and like one of like the closet, and like the shower was. But then we go to Rome. And in Rome, you walk into like the door into the room, like it would hit the bed when you opened it. There was no perimeter around the bed. You had to like roll on the bed and then roll off to get into the bathroom. And the bathroom had a sliding door because there wasn't room for the door on that side to actually open and close. And this bathroom was so amazing. You had to sit on the toilet while you were in the shower because they were the same space. Like you closed the sliding door, and there was just a shower head that aimed at the toilet. So you had to sit while you showered because you really couldn't stand up. If you stood up, you were under the shower head.
It was funny. I didn't have that, but the one other thing is, I think this was in Rome, is there was no soap in the bathroom. So I run across the street to the grocery store and I buy, just a bar of soap. Next morning, I'm taking a shower, and inevitably the soap slips out of my hand. I had to open the shower door, step half my body out of the shower because I couldn't bend down to get to the bar of soap. And I'm like trying to, do this like maneuver as some sort of contortionist to get down to the bar of soap. It was, showering is, it was an adventure.
Heard so many stories because my boyfriend studied abroad in Italy, and he was there twice for law school and for undergrad, and every time he's there, he's like, Rome is built for tiny people because he's 6'2" and wider than the doorways. Like, he talked about living in a closet for 6 months, and I'm like, how? He's like, I slept on a twin bed, and I'm like, how though? How did you do this? And he was like, well, it was Italy. That was fine.
Just do it. Yeah,
you just do it.
You put up with it because everything is gorgeous and everything tastes good and everything's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So considering food, I have to ask, because in the U.S., when I play games with my friends, we usually go over to a friend's house and we order pizza or we'll order tacos and we'll sit around. What does an Italian spread look like for a game of Savage Worlds? What's your typical game food?
Pizza, of course. The pizza is the must-have food because you don't want to spend too much time on cooking and so on. You have to focus on the game. So you order pizza and you get it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I think for our game, right before our game started, we all like ran to this little pizza shop that was kind of around the corner and got some food, some pizza, and what was Gilbert? What is the beer that I was
Peroni,
drinking?
of course, the Peroni.
It was the lemon.
Yes,
it's don't get that here. We looked for it forever. You don't get. All we get is the blue label Peroni, and we're always looking for like the red label or the lemon flavor.
Yeah,
you just can't get them.
Yeah, I think I drank three or four of those that evening, maybe like three, and they were so good.
Well, and there's panzerotti, right?
Panzerotti is very important food. Yes, of course.
And that was night one. So Gilbert's parents tried to feed me, and it's like 9 o'clock at night, and Gilbert comes over, and he's like, "Okay, let's go." I'm like, "Okay." And so we went and got the panzeroni, and we went down to the sea, down to this boulevard. Yeah, this boulevard on the beach, and had beer and panzeroni, and it was great,
Yes,
it was like the shopping, like the main street there that had all kinds of shops and things, and it was, just amazing.
Yes. Like the sea, you drink beer, you eat panzerotti, and you feel gorgeous. Yes, you can also play games. With my friends, we played games on the beach in the summertime, eating panzerotti and drinking beer. Ooh. Yes. Of course, that's a cool, very, very cool way to play games. Mm-hmm.
So, Zubair, tell us who's on the screen now. We
yes.
can't hear them now, so now you should introduce them.
You can see my little daughter there, Gloria, in the middle, and my little boy there, Gabriel. Yes.
Oh.
They are my best creations ever. Yes.
Aww.
I love them, and they are very good game masters. You know, they
Really?
have this attitude. They tell stories, and they just ask me, "Okay, now you go there, and what do you do?" Without me ever teaching them anything about role playing. They are natural talent. You know, and they make so many stories. They draw. They make drawings and say, okay, this is your dragon, you are the dragon, I am the knight, I come there and I slay you. Of course, they always win, and you cannot argue with them, of course.
And Gloria loved that hat that I have on.
Yes, she always wanted.
I think I've got a couple pictures of her that she I sitting on the couch, and next thing I know, my hat was gone, and she's running around the apartment wearing the hat.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, and who's this? These are not your kids, Gilbert.
No, they were just two girlfriends, so to say, that I met during the Genghis Khan, and they were very nice cosplayers. Yes.
Nice.
Do they do the cosplay stuff in Italy?
Yes, there are a lot of people who like cosplaying and so on. We have many important cosplayers and many. Of course, we used to have many gatherings of cosplayers and many cons where the cosplayers went and showed their nice attires. But we are waiting for better times now to make next move and next big cons so we can have fun together again.
Nice. Let's see. What are you running here?
Oh, here we were running Mythos, the mythological game for Savage World, and I like the t-shirt. Yes.
Yeah,
that's a nice looking T-shirt.
Right? Hey, nice little Rocky Mountain Savages shirt. I like that one. That's my favorite one, I think.
Yeah, I do too. I like that one.
Yes.
Cheyenne here. What's up, Cheyenne?
Hey, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, hi.
Cheyenne came on the cruise with us, man. He's a cool dude.
Of course he is.
And beautiful art.
And yes, of course. And yes, the best thing I remember about the people playing with me in these great cons was their friendliness and their tolerance about my bad accent. So they were just pretending I was speaking perfectly English. So I have to say that I have very good memories of very nice people and very good players. They were perfectly, on the spot. They were just perfectly behaving like real actors, and they had great ideas. But most of all, they were very, very, very nice with me, and they tolerated my bad accent. So thank you very much for enduring this bad torture of hearing me.
Yeah, David and Ryan, the one in the hat, and that's their father and son. They those two and his wife, when we were going to cons, would play in like every one of my games, and It was always so much fun. I would know the Peters family is going to come and play in my game, and I would know, and I'd look online, and yep, there they are, all signed up. So they're a good group of people.
And that's the Evil Bunny too.
Bill and Tammy Keys.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So that, you only see at conventions all the time. You have con family. You might not talk super much outside of con, but you see them every convention. They're at your table. They come to see you. They come to say hi. So last year was
great.
Really weird to not see con fam.
I know, and online, online's nice. Like Gilbert was kind enough to invite me to run for an Italian convention. They did a benefit for organ transplant and donation. And so I ran a game for some Italiani during that, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, same. And obviously, I didn't run in Italian. My Italian is not that good to run an entire game. I remember all the curse words and all that fun stuff.
Of course you do.
Speaking of which, we totally have to get this in here. So I think this is the first time you came, Gilbert. There's a local little kind of, a fun jocular curse in the Piedmont area. And Gilbert taught it to Matt Rowles and I, because Matt's the guy who was running the conventions and brought Gilbert over. So let's play. Let's see. We'll get this on camera. So all the Italiani will know just how profane this is. But everybody who's on English, we don't have to censor it. So let's see. Okay.
Amici, perché noi siete qui? Trimone!
So that was like, hey, Italian friends, why aren't you here? And then Trimone, which is,
which means it's about asshole, that's and it's very typical of my city. So many people in Italy don't even understand what that means. So it's cool. You can go to a person in Milan and tell him Trimone. He doesn't understand what I mean. So
that's good.
You can pretend you are making him a compliment. So.
Right.
I think you're a dumb American. Like, what are you doing?
So speaking of like trading hats, because the Italians are hat stealers, Fox. I mean, his daughter's a hat stealer, and then Gilbert got that hat I was wearing, the Savage hat. Do you still have the Savage hat?
Yes, I have it.
That's fantastic.
And I treasure it very much. It's in a secret place.
Right, but you still have all your hair, so you don't have to wear one to disguise your baldness. So yeah, trading hats is kind of a fun thing. So I mean, both of you have run games overseas for other people, and really, it sounds like you've had rather positive experiences doing it. What? Any negatives? Any challenges? Anything that you'd warn other game masters about?
Yes. Starting at 10:30 or 11 at night.
Oh, this is only for you though, Fox, because you are such an old man. You go to bed on time.
I am an old man. But it was so much fun and so worth it that it's not something that I would have wanted to miss either, running or getting to play, which I did both, because how often is that going to happen? Mm-hmm. And that's why when Gilbert was like, you should run some Deadlands, I was like, oh, I don't know. And I thought to myself, don't be a dummy. Run the game.
I love peer pressure that way, when it's like you're gonna have a good time, just please.
Well, yes. And it's like how often does this happen? It's not, it's not a weekly, monthly, yearly thing. It's gonna happen, every so often, and take advantage of it. So that was, really for me, to be perfectly honest with you, there was really nothing for me that was any type of a thing that I would warn people about. It was fun. The people were awesome. They were warm. They were, inviting. It was great. I had a really good time, and I'm glad I did it. And I would have felt really, really bad if I hadn't have done it. Mm-hmm. And even playing with Laura running the game and playing their system, it was kind of fun because they wanted to play, and she even told me, and it was the same thing was with Gilbert with it. He's like, it gives us a chance to practice our English. Mm-hmm. I'm like, cool.
Did you learn a little bit of Italian while you were there?
Nope, not a bit. I won't lie. I think I knew one or two things from when I was there before, but when I was there before, I was only 11 years old.
Oh wow!
And so it had been years and years and years. My mom and I went over, and we actually spent a month over in Sicily and Italy, because my sister, her husband at the time, was stationed in Sicily in Catania, and so we went over there and we spent a week, and then we spent 2 weeks going through on the train going through Italy, and then went back and spent another week in Sicily. And so it was amazing. That was an amazing trip. And I had always talked about, I'd always wanted to go back. And it was just like having Gilbert, it worked out perfectly. Mm-hmm. So
now you have to come another time.
It will happen. It will happen.
We're planning an expedition
Chelsea,
over.
come too.
I have to.
You, so you will teach me how to fence properly.
Yes,
I will.
it's definitely going to happen at some point.
I will bring
of course.
my manual and we will go through
That's the
Fiore.
way. And I'll give you an Italian version.
Beautiful, beautiful.
The original one.
Which one? There's 3.
The one they have in Ferrara, the Este.
Oh, in Ferrara.
Yes.
Oh gosh, which one do they have in Ferrara? I should know this.
Yes. The Borso d'Este version. Of course.
Because there are 3. There are the Getty, the Piani Dosi, the Pisani Dosi is in private hands and they won't give it up.
Don't worry.
There might be a wee siege on that house.
Don't
There's
worry.
more
I'll
copies.
just ask a friend of mine who has a friend who's friend of someone else, and we'll get it. That's the way.
Take all the pictures of every single
Yes.
page. The martial arts
And-
community will freak out. They will panic.
And now, when I heard Chris speaking about running games abroad, my first concern was, will I be up to their expectations? Because, running games in a different language is not so easy. But as Chris said, I thought, okay, this is a chance that comes only once in a lifetime. So I cannot skip this. I want to tell my friend I did it, and it worked perfectly. So I have the same experience. Going abroad, meeting people makes you richer and tells you a lot of things that allows you to become a better person. After I met all the savage guys and all the Rocky Mountain savages and so on, I learned a lot of things about gaming, about being friends, and being friends abroad, going away from your normal people, from your friends, is something that gives you a better way, a better point of view about life, about gaming, and about friends. So if I can give someone a hint, an advice, I would say go abroad and make games with different people, because you never know someone until you play with him. That's the best way to know someone is playing with him.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
think
the best way.
Dustin says it best because he talks about how we're always, we are still our basic human element. We want to sit around a fire and tell stories with each other. That's how we want to
Yes.
spend our time. And gaming is a great way to do that. You can have such a good time, experience new things, see people's way of life, see how people look at the world. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It brings you
It's-
perspective every single time.
Well, and
It's very.
I just think it's great. I mean, like Gilbert said, he's giving me a little teary over here about overseas friendships. But Gilbert was going to. So we've had you over twice. You were going to come for a third time on the Savage Cruise.
I have to.
But you this last Savage Cruise, which banner behind, shirt. Oh, I went and grabbed this because Steve Kellison just got these made. So this is the back.
We'll call it the commemorative.
Right, the
Unofficial
commemorative.
t-shirt.
I
Unofficial
survived the
t-shirt.
gunfight on Bourbon Street, the earthquake in Jamaica, the tsunami in Grand Cayman, and let's see, where's the thing? And the worst concrete ever, all on a ship that couldn't parallel park. That's on the back of the hoodies. So
Yeah, our ship actually, 2 weeks before our cruise, 3 weeks before our cruise, actually backed into another ship and basically destroyed one of the dining rooms almost.
yeah, right. You guys probably saw it on Reddit or on the news with the whole the two ships crunching into each other. We were on the one that got crunched. And,
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, ours did the crunching and got crunched.
and got crunched. Yeah, so it was the Carnival Glory. So there
Yeah.
was a glory hole on the back of our ship.
Yeah.
Just
And
saying.
you'd go in the dining room for dinner, and you kind of see this whole back corner that they have. They made it, they cordoned it off and painted it and tried to pretty it up, but you kind of knew right on the other side of that was where the giant hole was.
yeah, the outside they put up wood and put where the window should be, they painted it black. So it looked like from 400 feet away, it looked like a normal ship. But then when you're on the dock, you're like, oh, that's where it got crushed.
Yeah,
And,
it was. Oh man.
But so Gilbert couldn't make.
crazy.
So Gilbert already had tickets to come over, and he had to reroute from New Orleans to go visit his brother. And so, I don't want to share family business, but the cool thing about that is that you had to reroute to go visit your brother, because your brother had a health crisis, but he is totally over it. And related, just gave birth. He didn't. His wife did, obviously. To
they did it together,
right? And beautiful, they did it together. A beautiful baby girl, right?
Yes, her name is Bianca. So greetings. I didn't see her yet because she lives in Milan, very far away from where I live now.
But they were here in America, right? At the time, they were like here in America. You're like Boston.
Yes, they were living in Boston, but they moved then back to Italy on July. And
in the middle of the pandemic, they moved back.
Yes. Wow, quite an adventure. But now they're back in Italy, but they live 1,000 miles away. So we're waiting for summer to see each other again.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, and to play together, of course, because that's a great moment to play.
Right. I mean, the thing is, I'm an only kid, so I'm not in on the board game craze because I have no one to play board games with. Like, right? So everybody else
lives so far.
Well, that's true. Yes. When you're on the run from the law, Chelsea, you just don't have a lot of options.
Says the one who's on the internet all the time.
I know. This is a very bad idea. I make some poor life choices. I think being online so much is one of them. But what can you do? I think it's wonderful. Just the amount of opportunities we've all had because of getting together, because of visiting, because of just building links overseas. Getting to know Gilbert has been amazing. We're actually going to try to publish some updates to his wonderful settings, and he's contributed to ours. So even just the pictures you guys saw with Mythos and SWAT and Olympus Inc. and Buccaneer, all those things are only because we reached out and made some connections overseas. So as much as the Italians think that love is the universal language, I think gaming comes in as a close second on rolling some dice and having some fun with people.
Definitely agree with that.
Wow.
But on that, right, and that's all mushy shit. But if you guys do want to have non-mushy stuff, our next big let's all get together, we're doing Deadwood. And let me actually throw this up, because I think
I'm so excited that we're able to plan this again, because this was supposed to be my first big event with the Savage Worlds crew.
Yeah, it was supposed to be last fall.
Pinnacle. Yeah, it was because I was planning to meet everybody, and then it ended up being Halloween, which is still great. Online convention is a great way to meet people. I'm glad we were still able to do that, even when bandwidth at that point in the pandemic was really low, I think. So that became a high point again of like, we're about to hit winter, but at least we're able to play games together online. At least we're able to organize, get everyone together, get the band back together.
That's right.
And this whole Deadwood thing even just came about because Fox took an invitation from an old friend to go up and lecture at the university up in South Dakota, which is a really good time. We had a great time lecturing in front of the nerd club, the Nerd Geek Gaming Club, and we just talked to
BSU Hornets or Yellow Jackets.
Right? Go Yellow Jackets, right?
Yeah.
Go Jackets. Yeah. And one of us has the hat somewhere. And really great kids. And we got to scope out a couple places that showed up in the Deadlands, universe. And as we went to Devil's Tower.
Yeah, as we're going to Devil's Tower, I would have to be running the Flood at the time, and I'm like, this all looks really familiar just from the descriptions in the Flood. This is awesome.
Owen is somewhere celebrating.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was really well researched too. And so you got to meet those kids. We're like, we went to a game store. I'm like, we should come up here and run an event here. And we got to hang around in Deadwood itself. And so even that is, obviously it's not international travel, but traveling for gaming is really kind of a cool thing.
You talk about like destination vacations, some people don't really know or feel comfortable planning vacations on their own. So having something where something they love is available, right? They can board game the entire weekend if that is what they're comfortable with, or they can branch out. They can try horseback riding. They can shoot Landauer in the face with paintball.
Yes.
They can go ghost hunting. They can explore museums. This is just like a launch platform, right? Because for a long time, I would not travel alone. I just wouldn't do it. I was so scared. And now in a heartbeat, I would jump on a plane and just head to Italy to spend a week there because I can find all these things. But what got me on board travel is conventions. I used to do conventions with my parents. Everything is planned for you. You pick your schedule and you go and you just have a grand time. And so Deadwood is a real easy jumping platform. The Savage Cruise, going on a cruise, but being able to game and do something you're absolutely so comfortable with the entire time. You don't have to leave the boat, or you can and go find adventure of your own. It's super accessible, and I love it. So.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this up for anybody so you can write down the dates. So the right there, boom, boom. So yeah, Deadwood. We are going to hit up Deadwood this August 19th to 22nd. And so come and join us there. And then the Savage Cruise is kicking off the beginning of next year. If you want to come, it's January 3rd is a Monday. So if you want to come to Orlando, which is we're leaving from Port Canaveral, if you want to come the weekend before as well, we're going to be totally doing like Universal or Disney or the Space Center for New Year's.
The Space Center, 1,000%. I hope they have a launch. I'm really hoping for a launch. It would be so cool.
I'm just excited to go to Belize. So Belize is somewhere I've always wanted to visit. Mm-hmm. So I'm really when we were choosing, and I saw Belize in there. I'll tell you, I had my fingers crossed. Okay, let's pick that one. Hope that one works. You know, I've been to what was it's
Costa Maya and Cozumel. So we went to Cozumel on the first cruise. And we didn't get the full day though. This is a full day in Cozumel, so you can actually go to Chichen Itza too. So
yeah, which is awesome because I think the three trips on this one. It seems like we get much longer on all of them than we got on the last cruise. Yeah. So that's pretty exciting because the last cruise, get off the boat, get to your tour group or your destination, do your thing, get back on the boat. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of time to go do other things. And so I'm really excited about having some time like after in Belize. A few of the things I've looked at are over at like 3:00 in the afternoon, and we don't leave until 8 or 9 that night. Beautiful. And so I'm just psyched to be able to go and, you know, have some free time in these places after, you know, I do all the fun stuff like Chelsea said that's kind of there and booked for you, you know.
You've got enough time to write an adventure after over dinner.
Right, there you go.
Exploration.
Yeah, exploration.
Adventure.
Yeah, Cheyenne. Well, you got to join us now, man. It's going to be on your birthday. So, yeah, my birthday was yesterday, and I'm 40 now. And now I'm old and going to die soon. And let's see. Yeah, Low Jedi he's been to Deadwood for a marathon before. Yeah, Deadlands is pretty awesome. Like, it's.
I'm super excited. I really want to see people in cosplay as well. Like, very excited to see everybody again and to meet everybody that I haven't met in person. Because being online is great, but I'm a lot more chatty and.
I might have to pull out my Stetson.
Yes, please.
Yes, and Chelsea's not lying about getting to shoot me in the face, which is a huge draw for a lot of people, I'm sure. So the
I still think you're crazy.
Whatever. The yes, that's given. So besides games, so one of the fun things about, I mean, if you listen to the story so far on like, you know, us going up to South Dakota and meeting the cool kids, and the fun with the kids is like after our lecture, they invited us back to their game night, and we played a whole bunch of games with them, and it was just a lot of fun just hanging out. And you know, one of the kids was trying to show us magic tricks, and gaming is a social activity, and so getting to mix away from the table social fun stuff in addition to gaming it's just a really good mix. And I know at our local conventions, when we really did it up and did the Savage 100, it was just a lot of gaming, you know, gaming from 9 a.m. until midnight. But these are a little bit more relaxed in that, like, hey, let's go do some other fun stuff as long as it was like our big conventions, it's like February and we're in a hotel. Like there's, you know,
right.
I did take Gilbert up to meet a mountain man and we got to go have some like winter adventures, which is crazy.
Yeah, Gilbert, you guys should share that story about the mountain man.
Oh my gosh!
Craziest ever.
Yeah, so actually, it is really funny. So because we put on so many games, like there wasn't a whole lot of time, but like everybody was going to meet that evening at the Buckhorn Exchange, and the Buckhorn Exchange is like Teddy Roosevelt ate there. It's the oldest
restaurant in Denver.
Oldest restaurant in Denver.
It has liquor license number 1 for Colorado.
It is a menagerie. I mean, there's taxidermy, there's history on every single wall. It is a super cool place to be. And it's really weird because you walk there's a light rail station right outside, right? Because people usually take the light rail if you're going to go have a good drink. And you see this kind of old-fashioned building in a modern neighborhood. Walk in and
it doesn't
there you
look
go.
like anything spectacular from the outside,
Mhm.
but it's an old building. Yeah, it's just an old, and it's one of those that it's not cheap.
But you can eat snake in it. I remember that perfectly.
Yeah.
I ate
Rattlesnake.
snake, and it was good. Incredible.
Rattlesnake is awesome.
Did they fry it up or?
Yeah, fried rattlesnake.
Okay.
Yeah,
Of course,
it
it's fried.
It was
America.
really, yeah, it was really good.
My uncle from Scotland used to come over, and he would eat Rocky Mountain oysters every single time. And it started as a joke, but he liked it, so he just kept eating them and never stopped.
Yeah,
so
but
every time they came over.
For those of you not aware, Rocky Mountain oysters are not seafood.
Nope.
They're the dangly bits of the boy cattle that are left over after you snip them off, so that they're castrated cattle.
And they are fried in a lot of fat and bacon.
They're like white meat pork with like an anise seed overtones. So just delicious. Yeah, they're not good.
And the big thing I remember about that night was a snowstorm came in that night.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that was a bad drive. I took the light rail down, thank goodness, but the driving was really precarious.
So it was like so the plan was like, how do we get like Gilbert to see a little bit of Colorado and get back to town? So like I was like, oh, maybe we'll go up to Evergreen, maybe we'll go to like Vail or Aspen's way too far away.
You went the crazy route though. Like my first thought is always Red Rocks because it's beautiful, it's a natural park, there are great margaritas in town, like it's very accessible, only like an hour and a half away. You went big. You went chaotic.
Well,
you took him to Estes.
Like, yes, and Estes is gorgeous. So I've got border collies, like they're my dogs. Love the dogs. And one of the border collies from one of the litters that we had is living up in Estes Park with this guy whose his name is Greg. He's an awesome dude. He's an artist. He does watercolor paintings. And I'm trying to while I'm talking, I'm trying to copy the Facebook thing so we can upload the video so you can kind of see some of this stuff. But we're doing the hacks live on stream. So we've got a border collie up in Estes, and so I'm like, okay, we'll go up to Estes, and
it's a 3-hour drive. On a good day.
Oh, but it's gorgeous, right? You get to go all up and see Estes. And Estes Park is kind of there's a lot of very beautiful things in Colorado, but the nice thing about Estes is that it's kind of this circular little valley, and you get like elk and moose, and it's just gorgeous. And there's like a glacier up there, and it's stunning. And there's a lake
and crazy mountain men.
Yeah. Okay. So I did get the video, and let me upload it into StreamYard.
Oh,
I
nice.
have a question though, Gilbert. How long had you been here before he took you to Estes? How many days had you been in Colorado?
4 or 5.
Yeah,
Thank God. Okay, so at least you let him get acclimatized, because we've taken friends up too early, and all of a sudden they can't breathe anymore.
This is the thing in Colorado. When you bring in people, like when we had Eduardo Arracachea, who is our Basque exchange student, we took him up to the mountains almost immediately, and you get up to like on I-25 or you're I-70, you're going up into the mountains. They're all just like, yeah, because there's no oxygen. So all you people who live at sea level, you can't breathe up here, and so you're like, oh, look at the gorgeous plate, and you're just.
We have O2 tanks here for friends who come up, so that if they need extra oxygen, they can get it. Because we've had people pass out at Red Rocks, like the second or third day, because they weren't acclimatized. It's a lot. There's not a lot of air up here.
Yes, there's not.
So at least you waited a few days.
Right. Yeah. So like, end of trip. So we go and meet my friend Greg in Estes, and I wanted Gilbert to have green chili because like green chili.
Oh yes, good Colorado green chili. Yes. Right.
It's the closest.
It is a must.
Like panzerati is to Bari, Italy, what green chili is to Colorado. Like a local dish that there's like many variations, but the locals love it. We love to share it. It's, you know, if New York is like New York style pizza, or Chicago is Chicago pizza, or like Texas is barbecue, Colorado is green chili. So I wanted them to have green chili. So we go and meet my friend Greg at the place near his gallery that does good green chili. And not a lot of air up here. It does explain everything. Seriously, the motto of the Rocky Mountain Savages, Cheyenne, is oxygen deprivation and dice that explode. So that's just how that works. And that's how we got Shane to say exploding dice instead of acing dice. So we win. So making a long story even longer, we go out, we have the green chili, and right when we're finishing up the meal, a friend of Greg and it pulls in to the bar, and we had these crazy things. We had avocado margaritas at this place, which I had never had before. Not really a Colorado thing.
I've had those before.
They're really
in Loveland. They're not bad.
Right.
Gold.
So it was good.
We are
right?
big foodies here in Colorado too. We love a lot of different food. Like we get everything from everywhere and try to make it our own, and we love weird stuff. So avocado margaritas, yes.
Right? So we're like, we still have to wait a little while before we should really be getting into a car. And Greg's friend shows up, and he is like mountain man of the mountain man. Like he was even featured in like National Geographic as like the last of the mountain men. And this dude lives on top of a mountain in Estes Park, taking care of this cool, funky old cabin. And he's got like a snowcat, so like during the winter you can get up the trails with. It's got like tank treads on a little thing, and so he invites us to like, hey, you want to go see my cabin? And like normally people you've never met before with like, hey, you want to go see my cabin? You usually say no. But
on top of the mountain,
right? Exactly. So, but
No
we're
escape.
like, let's be adventurous. So we say, sure, let's go see this dude's cabin, and. So we pile into his truck, and he takes us to like the spot where we get to the snowcat before we get to the snowcat to go up the mountain to see the cabin. But this is the dude, and I've got a little video of it just to like, let's see, here it is, boom.
No, we stop.
Come sta, Italiani?
Hi.
So that's Gilbert, scared for his life, going, I don't know these people.
Like I'm videoing this whole thing, so there's evidence for my family. Should I?
If I may, the problem was that I was totally sure that Chris knew the guy. So I thought, okay, if he trusts him, I can trust him too. But when we were into his snowcat and going into this snowstorm uphill with nothing inside, I asked him, okay, Chris, are you sure we are doing this right? Do you know this guy? And he replies to me, no, I didn't I never met him before. So I told him, you know that this is the way most of the horror movies start.
Yes.
He's not lying. This is like Gilbert's like in his best Italian because Mountain Man doesn't know Italian, and I'm trying to like remember as best as possible what serial killer is in Italian. We're going to that, and Gilbert was like, just the blood leaves from his face. I'm like,
No.
never mind. I'm sorry. The blood is drained from Gilbert's face, and we're going up, and I'm like, oh, I guess Gilbert's very scared of snowcats. No, Gilbert's scared of getting killed by serial killers that no one knows where we're going. And it turned out fine. We're both alive. We didn't get raped. We did get offered a doobie, though. Like, it was really funny. So we get up to this great cabin. It's this gorgeous cabin. The guy's showing us all the, like, the National Geographic features, and then all the kind of the hunting and the history of this place. And then he puts on Rocky Mountain High, and there's a video somewhere of Gilbert in a hammock going back and forth singing the Rocky Mountain High.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
Yes, we will find that. I will find that video and play it for you sometime, stream people, because I know you want to see it. But the guy's like, you want a doobie? And it's legal in Colorado now, but we're like, we both passed. And but it was a lot of fun, man. He was a cool dude. The cabin was amazing, and I was like, hey, how else can you show like anybody a buffet, a smorgasbord? What is there an Italian word for like a buffet? like
buffet.
A buffet. Yeah. A prima piatti, seconde piatti,
yes,
an antipasti of Colorado. There we go. An antipasti of Colorado in like 3 hours. And so the dude was getting really excited and wanted to just get bombed. We're like, we got to get back down the mountain because we need to be back at the Buckhorn, for dinner. And so he was going even faster in the Bobcat, going downhill. And so Gilbert and I are like holding each other for dear life. As like, there's no path, right? It's like the guy's literally like doing tank treads over what there's a big snowstorm going on, and so we finally get back into town, get back in my car, and like zoom down the mountain, saying thanks to the mountain man. But I don't know, it was fun. Yes, we survived, and but yeah, there's not a whole lot of Colorado you can do in like 3 hours, so we made it work, and we almost got killed like zooming down the highway to make it to the Buckhorn Exchange on time. But it was worth it because buffalo. The buffalo was delicious.
Buffalo's so good.
So,
oh my god!
Right, and you wouldn't have any of these experiences if you didn't have like people to entertain. Like I think there's something about travel and hosting people with travel that like when do you go and see Red Rocks yourself, right? Like when do you go and see Estes yourself?
Well, again, that was one of the best parts for me being over there was having the 3 people host and be able to take me around and show me things again that I wouldn't have gotten to see. I ate food that I probably wouldn't have eaten, because if you go by yourself, you're like, well, I don't know what to order. But when you're there with other folks and they're like, well, this is good and this is good, and we have 10 plates of appetizers and get ready for the main course. Oh, good Lord. That stuck with me. Just the fact that I'm like, oh, that all was really good. And then she goes, yeah, that was just the appetizers. oh, good Lord.
Shift some stomach room real quick.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was amazing.
So yeah, guys, I think we're about to wrap up. We got another stream coming in an hour with Ed and Preston. So Preston Dubose and Ed Wetterman, the guys behind ETU. We're going to talk to them. Hopefully also about food and traveling and weird strangers you meet up and don't kill you, because none of us have been killed by a serial killer yet. So how dangerous can it really be?
Knock on wood.
I say with my penchant for true crime all over the past few years,
right?
You never know what's going to happen.
That's true. So yes, the force. So you saw Gilbert had a picture of SWAT, and so SWAT is Spells, Weapons, and Tactics, which is the fantasy procedural game that we've all been writing, and we're not going to release it until the companions come out. So you can. That's the hint on when we're going to publish that. But the Fox and Gilbert and we'll get Chelsea on it too. Now that you're part of the team, Chelsea's got to write for SWAT. But yeah,
write something fun,
right?
Something chaotic.
We've got everything from like serial killer Seuss. Son of Sam, I am, and green eggs and spam, and Silence of the Hams. Silence of the Hams. Yes,
Silence of the Hams.
And but yeah, so the where do you get these crazy ideas if you're not like sitting around drinking too much wine and there's jamon on the table, or prosciutto.
That's right. The things that were awesome was the seafood over there.
Yeah,
the seafood was amazing.
I'm starving. Jesus, we talked so much about food.
And I think a couple of the things that I ate were actually still alive or had been alive maybe 10 minutes before I ate them.
Yes. You never eat raw seafood like you eat it in Bari, where I live. So you have to come and try it.
And then in return favor, like we go over to like Spain and Italy, and you don't appreciate how much seafood is a part of those menus. Like this here in Colorado, we're so far from any ocean, there's just no seafood really anyways.
You say that. Here's the thing. We live in the Midwest, and we have one of the best sushi restaurants in the country.
But they pay to have
his brother is part of the fish markets in Tokyo and flies everything straight here to Denver, and then it's parted out from there.
Yes, if you don't go to Sushi Den or Ototo or what's the third one? Izakaya Den? Izakaya Den, the three of them. Yeah, Ototo, Izakaya Den, and Sushi Den. So those people are hardcore. If you want fresh fish in Colorado, you have to have a brother who is a sushiyaki in Japan, who literally goes to the market, buys the freshest fish, puts it on an Airstream, flies it to Denver, and then like you get to go to the airport on the tarmac, pick out the best stuff for you, and then all the other restaurants in town fight over what you don't want that your brother put on the plane. Like there's
as soon as you get your stimulus check, where do you go?
Right,
Sushi Den.
It's good, but the appreciate how good the seafood is in these places. And then in returning the favor, I mean, besides Buckhorn, which was just good food, and we made Gilbert eat all of the craziest pasta dishes from Panera that we could.
Why?
So we made
him eat. Panera's so bad. That's like you took him to Olive Garden. What the hell?
Yes, we did. It was hilarious.
And Gilbert, you're still friends with these people.
Of course, because you have to try everything in life.
He was so diplomatic about it, but there was one that was like pico de gallo pasta.
No, that was terrible.
It was.
Both horrible. Terrible. I cannot believe you took him to Panera.
But I appreciated pineapple pizza.
Right.
I have to say this.
I love pineapple pizza.
It's delicious.
I thought it was a sin eating pineapple pizza, but
no, Canadian bacon and pineapple.
If you like prosciutto e melone, you can have fruit and meat.
Of course.
So it works.
You know, life is too short to hate food.
I need that on a shirt. That should be our new that should be the cruise. We have to get Life is Too Short to Hate Food. All you can eat Savage Cruise 2022.
Oh God. Molto bene.
Yes.
Molto bene.
Well, thank you all for joining us, guys. Thanks, Fox, for joining us and for running. And so join us for. I'll throw it up one more time for the people in the back who didn't see it. You can come meet Fox and I and Chelsea at Deadwood. We're running that this August. It does not conflict with Gen Con or any other big con. If you don't want to go big, it'll be a nice, small, but also gaming events. The cool people from Doomtown will be there as well, running the Doomtown Deadwood special event for the year.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I'm so excited. I get to meet Christine in person.
Right?
I talk to her every day.
Yeah, exactly. You get to meet people in person. So we'll all be there. And then the Savage Cruise 2022. It's just after New Year's, so there's no excuse. You guys should all be vaccinated. And the prices are going to be fantastic. The cruise is, I think even with our. So last time we did a very thin margin on the Savage Pass. I think this year we're going to do an actual legit Savage Pass where we can afford to bring people on the cruise so we can fill out we didn't know if last year was going to be a one-off, whatevs, and a lot of people paid their own way. So this year we're going to do it right, and even with the Savage Pass,
people will be pleasantly surprised because a lot of people think travel either in the U.S. or abroad is very expensive. It's not too bad if you're a little savvy, right? And so finding a package deal, it's just easier to take that and then plan your trip to Italy for a week. It's only about, I would say, $3 or $4 grand. So if you save up a little bit every month, it's easy to just jump on over.
And the cruises should be under 1,000 even. So that's
when I went, my trip to Italy was, I think, for 3 weeks under $2,000.
Wow.
It helps knowing people, so you can crash on couches.
Well, that was the thing. Is I stayed in real quick in both Florence and Rome. Gilbert hooked me up with some B&Bs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Airbnbs are way cheaper. I
only paid I paid less than $100 a night in both Rome and Florence in mid-September.
Yeah. Because if you find a good hostel or a good Airbnb where they'll feed you because they love to feed people, which is fantastic. And second of all, hosteling, you get to meet people from around the world. And it's 20 euros a night, 30 euros a night?
Yeah, it's not much at all.
It's really not that bad.
It's amazing.
It is accessible. You just have to kind of know where to look. So.
And the cool thing about the cruise is that once we get everything rolling, for the last cruise is I basically paid a little bit each month towards my cruise, so it really spread it out and made it so much easier for me to pay for that. And so that'll happen again. Is we're going to be able to you're going to have to pay a deposit, but then you can kind of spread the rest of it out through 6 or 7 months or something like
really
that. And so it makes it a lot easier to spread that out.
Yeah, and it should all come in under budget. So if you saved your stimulus check, you can totally just come on the Savage Cruise.
I know a couple of people who've already said that. That's what they just put their stimulus check in savings, and that's for the cruise.
Right, awesome. And we'll post that soon enough, guys. You'll be able to put your deposits down, and but yeah, so join us for Deadwood and the cruise, and maybe if you're a famous Italian RPG author and people keep paying for you to come over and visit them in America, we might even have Gilbert join us on the cruise. Hopefully.
I want to be there, and I'll do my best to be there.
Okay, that's as close as we're going to get. So yeah, so great, guys. So yeah, join us in August or in January for the cruises, and if not, reach out to some people overseas and run some games for them, because that's a cool thing to do. All the cool kids are doing it.
Yep.
Make friends, branch out, have adventures.
And if you want to catch Gilbert on video on demand on our Twitch, you can go to twitch.tv/PegInc, and you can see Gilbert running East Texas University Study Abroad. He ran an awesome game with some amazing players. It's on the video on demand, so you can catch it up now, and then we will upload it to YouTube when it goes off demand.
On YouTube, there is his game from Halloween as well.
Yeah, so
it is an old-fashioned spaghetti western.
And many other games too.
Speaking of spaghetti, oh my God, now I'm hungry. So I'm going to go eat. Chelsea and I are going to go get a food break, and we will be back in like 45 minutes to talk with Ed Wetterman and Preston DuBose about ETU. So cheers, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.